Hello everybody. In this video, let us see how to set up the Python environment in the Windows. So I see setup Python environment in Windows. So for that, what I can show you. So here, when I go to the command prompt, and if I check whether Python is already available in my system or not. So I'll just give Python -- version. So when you try this, where it is showing you that you can find here that Python was not found. So definitely Python is not available in my system as of now. So let me show you how to set up, and I'll show you very easy process to set up the Python in the Windows. So I'll go to Google, okay, type Python download. So you simply say that Python download. As soon as you go to the Python download, so this is the homepage of your Python. You can observe www.python.org, which is the standard website or web page of your Python, right? So from there itself, you try to download the Python software. So even though we have other predatory web pages, so that directly you can download from this official website, right? So here under this downloads, so you can click here, download Python. Current version is 3.11.5. So if at all, if you want, if your system is old enough, in such case, if you feel that this 3.11.5 is not compatible to your system, in such case, what you have to do, just click on this download, right? When you click on this, when you click on the downloads, where you will get the all releases. So when you click on the all releases, this is where you can see the previous versions of the Python. So start from 3.8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So if you just scroll down, this is where you can see the release notes, and also this is the download options of the previous versions like 10.3, or even if you want to go back 3.8, 3.7. So all these versions you can download from here, right? When you want to download the previous versions of Python. But as of now, let me download the current version of Python, which is 3.11.5, right? And this is for Windows, I'm doing it. So if you want to do it for the Linux or the Mac, just click on these links. So where it will take you to the Linux. So how to set up in the Linux, you will get to know. Similarly for Mac as well, right? Now I'm downloading for Windows. So I'll just click this, which is download Python 3.11.5, right? I'll click on this. As soon as I click, so within a fraction of seconds, I can download the Python executable file, right? So that executable software file, which I'll be using for installing and setup of the Python in my Windows system, right? Now you can see the downloading of the Python is complete. So I'll just click on this. As soon as I click, so it will take you to the installation process. Whatever the downloaded software, it will take you to the installation process. And in this page, very important step which you have to do it is this clicking this or ticking this add Python exe to the path. If you ask me, if you don't do this, what you have to do? Is it not possible to install Python and work with this Python in your system? In the sense, yes, definitely you can work with the system even if you don't tick this. But after installation, manually you have to set the path in the environmental variables. If I have to show you, so there in the environmental variables, and in your system settings, right? In the system settings, where you will get the environmental variables, right? This is where we say that system environmental variables. So in the system environmental variables, so you have to set the path and the variables explicitly. When you don't tick this add Python to path, if you don't tick that, so explicitly you have to include here. So in the system environmental, you have to include the path and the variables explicitly. If you don't tick this option, so what I'll be doing, I'll be ticking this. And also instead of the um, normal template, I'll be using the custom installation so that you can see what and all it is available You can observe, see the documentation, which is the default thing is available. TCL, TK, ideally, very importantly, IDL is also available in this. So you can see what are all the things are available. I'll click on next. Okay, here also, what are whether I have to restrict Python utilization to the which user. So here, let me tick this install Python 3.11 for all users. So all the users which are be using in this system. So based on that, I'm not restricting. You can observe here also. When I untick this, to the Gauda user only. So what I'll be doing in the sense, I'm not restricting to the single user. So what I'll be doing, I'll be ticking this. As soon as I tick it, so it will be installed to the program file. So it is open to everybody, right? It is for all users, and I'll tick this. So respective rest of the things, it is left to you whether to tick or not, and I'll just go for install. So as soon as I click this, so where it will ask you whether do you really want to install, select yes and go further, where it will take a few minutes to complete the process of installation and also setup. As I mentioned in that previous step, as you have ticked that path process explicitly, you don't have to set the environmental variables in your system. If you do not tick that in the sense, then you have to do it. You have to set the environmental variables and in the it's a path in the system environmental variables explicitly. Right now, as I was ticked that in the first step of this installation process, now explicitly I don't have to set those paths. Right, it is taking a little bit time for installation, and I hope you can observe. So I'm installing this 64-bit Python for 64-bit. You can also get means install for 32-bit also, as I mentioned. So if you click on this and click on all releases, where you can find all the versions like this, and among which you can choose for 64-bit and also for 32-bit. By selecting this download option, you can download any of the previous versions, and you can also work with the previous versions also, right? Even so, in olden days where the people were using Python 2, even that versions are also available still for installation in and using in the system. But so you can observe release dates are, it's almost 10 to 12 years back. It was in before 2011-12 where they were using 3.2 Python 2. Nowadays, so many of us will be using Python 3 itself with the current versions we will be using, right? So it is taking a bit of time. And one thing you might have already observed, Python, whatever I'm installing, I'm not paying anything to this. It's completely open source. It is completely available for free. Anybody can download from the official website, which is python.org. So www.python.org. From here itself, you download the software. So from anywhere. So you don't have to pay for it. It is a freely available open source software. Right now you can observe setup was successful. Once after this is done, we just close this. So again, when you go back to the command prompt, so don't try to give the same Python version here itself, because even if you do that, it will throw the same error. So what you do, you close this command prompt, you close the command prompt and start the command prompt again. Now here, if you give Python hyphen version, so it will show you the current version of Python, whatever it is being installed. So now, my dear, so this is where you can understand that. So we have set up the Python environment. So we are done with setting up the Python environment in the Windows, right? So now from here onwards, you can move on to the Python shell version. So this is where just type Python, where it will take you to the shell. So shell mode. So you here you can do anything. So same, say for example, anything. So hello, welcome. So if as I'm using a simple print, so it will print you that itself. So if I say a is equal to 45, then if I print a, so it is printing the value of the variable a. So likewise, you can go further. That's how we are done with setting the Python environment in the Windows. Right. So one thing is that you can work on from the command prompt directly like this in the shell mode. Otherwise, you can also, as we have while installing, we have chosen the IDLE platform. So that also you can search. So you can search for IDLE. Now you can observe IDLE Python, whatever the version we have installed. So if you click on that, so where you can observe. So other than this command prompt, so such kind of shell environment will be opened. I repeat, this is the IDLE shell, which is with the Python, right? So which is open. So now here also you can do the same thing. So whatever you wanted to do, you wanted to work with the Python, so you can, right? So you can work here also same thing. So however you work in the command prompt, so similarly here also you can so work with this. So like this, I'll say like this. Otherwise, I simply can say that A only. I don't have to say print again and again, right? So that's what for the day. So where you can set up the once after you set up the Python environment in the Windows, you can work from the command prompt directly. Otherwise, you can also work in the IDLE. The advantage of working in the IDLE is that what you don't find in the command prompt is that. So here, once after you work with the Python for different applications or different examples. So if you want to keep this retained in the sense, so there is an option where you go to the file and there is an option of save as. Okay, when you go for that save as and when you save somewhere else. Example, as of now, I'll just save in the desktop itself. I'll keep it in the desktop. I'll say that example. So I'm just calling it as example. So save as type is, Python files automatically. It is a Python file. So the file name I'm saving as example. So I'll just save. So because what is happening in the sense in future, if at all if I need to use it, so definitely I can directly use that example directly. So I don't have to recreate again. You can observe this is what the example which is created. Okay, so this is the example which is created, which you can directly work with, right? So that's what the advantage of this IDLE. So whatever you work with, so you can save it for the future. Whereas you whatever you work in the command prompt directly, so definitely once after you come out of that command prompt, so whatever you work with, it will be deleted, right? So that's the advantage of this IDLE. Yes, guys. So it is for today. So how to set up that Python environment in the Windows and how to work with the command prompt and how to work from the IDLE. Thank you.